Hello! Alright, we are finally at the end of the Sabrina outfits, either inspired by or a recreation of her tour slash taste music video outfits. This being the black bodysuit, which I did take some creative liberties with, and I do regret a little bit of how it came to be, but I digress. I started off with a black lace dress, complete with the black long sleeve bell sleeves, and a fairly low neckline. I put it on inside out to figure out where the legs would be cut and sewn to get them as tight fitting as possible without ripping, of course. Starting off with the one leg first, and using pins along the way until I got to the crotch area. I then took it off and sewed that on my sewing machine, being sure to backstitch frequently as lace has a tendency to rip fairly easily. And backstitching will add a little bit more security or stability to the piece. I put it on for a second time and awkwardly used chalk to determine where the top or angle for the crotch would be. This feels so weird. Took it off and placed it on the ground, pinning it around that area that I just placed the chalk on. And then sewing that up. I could have pinned it while it was on me, but I didn't want to accidentally stab myself while removing it. This was the lesser of evils. I then placed it back on the ground and then put the half that I hadn't sewn onto the half that I had sewn, hot dog style, so I could reference where now to put the pins to make each side identical. I did try to just pin both sides while it was on me, but that did not work out. I tried multiple times. I placed the piece on once again to be sure it fit and then sewed that up as well. then put it on one more time because I was absolutely sure that I had messed it up this time around, though I did not. Fucking nailed it. And then cut away the excess. I had mentioned at the beginning of this that in retrospect, I would have liked to do a little bit different. And with that, it would be not just to change it from a dress to pants, but rather to add a little bow to the front because I think that would be really cute. I may end up adding it, who knows. Also, hers is technically shoulder straps with gloves as her sleeves. However, to give the appearance of having straps instead of the long sleeves, I simply brought the shoulders down and use it as that. I know this is a little bit of a simpler DIY of sorts, but I figured considering my last few of them have been quite extravagant, let's say, that this would be a breath of fresh air of sorts. But that is it for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoy. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys, happy Halloween!